Hey guys, it's Kulani here, back with another video. So today we were assigned to make two exam questions. I've made four exam questions of both section A and section B. Welcome back to Kulani's maths class, and today's the 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 topic is convergent geometric series and the sum to infinity. This class simply reveals the where maths is made easy, and we are better than Kevin. More like we are Kulani Math Science. Yep. Okay, let's go to the next one. Let's start with the question. So, section A. So, this reveals the level 1 and level 2 questions, but I simply believe that these two are they both level 2 questions. And so, let's begin. Okay, let's just get the pen. Okay, so as we know, with number one, that what's the most important thing? So the questions ask, find the range of x values of this sequence if the sequence consists of this week's 16 times x plus 2 multiplied by x plus 2, which is to the power of 2, x plus 2, which is to the power of 3. So they also mentioned that x cannot equal -2. So they want us to prevent using x plus 2 equals 0, and we just say x equals -2. They don't want that. So basically, we have to use this. We have to use this specific thing right here. This right here will help us calculate the answer. This -1, where r is not bigger than -1, where r is bigger than -1 but not bigger than 1. So this simply means that now we can create the ratio by simply saying r equals t2 over t1, because we know that's what r is. That's how you find the common ratio. So to find that, just erase. So to find that, we just say r equals t2 over t1. So we take the terms, term 2 and term 1. Let me say r equals, as written here, it's going to be x plus 2 squared over 16x plus 2 and equals. So now this also is similar to x plus 2, x plus 2 over 16x plus 2. So now that we got that, now we know that these two will cancel out and this will become a quarter. So it just simply is 1x plus 2 over 4, which simply equals x plus 2 over 4. Now that we know that this is r, we simply sub this into the -1 and the r. Since this is the common ratio, we simply sub this x plus 2 into the r to simply find the ratio. So it's going to be -1 x plus 2 over 4 equals 1. Then we times both sides by 4. So it's going to be -4 x plus 2, then 4. Then we simply take 2 to the other side. So it's going to be -4 minus 2, which is -6. Then it's going to be x equal x, to leave x alone, to find the range of values of x. Then we minus we minus we minus we take we take 4 minus 2 to get 2. Then simply there's your answer. Simple and easy. Allocate the marks for using this, then maybe for getting that, and then getting the final answer. Basically that. Okay, next question. So now taking the term. So now they ask you what the following sequence for quarter plus an eighth plus for the following series. Basically, they say determine which term is 1 over 256. So this is a level 2 question as well. 3 marks. Easy. We're just finding the term. So basically we're finding n. So and we know that to find the value of a term of t2 or the t3 or tn, so we have to use this formula. Tn equals ar n minus 1. And we already have a, because we know a equals a quarter. because that's the first term. Then we have r, which we haven't calculated, which is 1 over 8 over a half, which, no, not a half, over a quarter, which equals a half. So now that we have that, we can simply sub that in, and since they're giving you 1 over 256 as the value of the term we're looking for, so we can just simply sub that in here, and we say a quarter, and then a half, and n minus 1. That's simple. Then we simply divide the quarter by divide the 1 over 256 by the quarter, so we can simply have 125 divided by 1 over 4 equals a half. And simply when we get that, then we get 164 equals a half n minus 1. Now here, also simply as well, we can use the log formula. As we know in the log, we can use logs. As we know, this will become the base. We have to use this as this thing here. Since we know you have to use the base there and the thing here, then since this is an exponent, the whole n minus 1 is an exponent, you just leave it there as n minus 1. Then what we get here from the answer, we get 6 equals n minus 1. Therefore, n equals 7. Then therefore the term is of that sequence is 7 for the 1 over 256. So yeah, that's simple and easy. Section A should be getting full marks for these questions here. So let's go to the next question. Next question, section B. Okay, so 3.1. so this is more of our level 3 questions. Level 4, maybe 3.2 will be more of a level 4, but we'll get there right now. So here they tell us that the sum to infinity of the sequence of this series is 72, and then they tell us the second term is 18. So now we know that, and we know that the formula for sum to infinity is a over 1 minus r. So we simply just take the 72 as that is the value of the sum to infinity, and we say equate it to the formula. So now simply just say 72 1 minus r equals a, because we're simply simplifying the formula. So now we say a equals 72 1 minus r. And we simplify it further. 72, multiply out the bracket, 72r equals a. Simple as is. And we know that term, to get the second term, you have to use AR, this formula. Since they give you the value of the term already, which is 18, we simply put that in. And we know that they give us which term the value of this thing is, of which the value of 18. So we just sub in the number, which is 2 minus 1 equals 18, which gives us AR equals 18. Okay, so now this becomes equation 2, this becomes equation 1. Then we simply say sub in into equation 2. So now it's gonna be, since here it already says a, so we sub in the a into the 2. So now it's just gonna be, so we sub in the a of the equation 1 into the a of equation 2. So now it's gonna be 72 minus 72r equals 18. Then r, then we can say r, so we times r out, and it's gonna be 72 minus 72r squared equals 18. And then multiply it out, then we take it to that side, we'll take both numbers to that side, so it's going to be 72r squared minus 72r plus 18 equals 0. Sorry, there's no space, so it's going to say equals 0. So now we can simply punch this into a calculator, or we can just equate it and we'll prove that it's r, or we can just take out the highest common factor, which is 18. So it's going to be 4r squared minus 4r plus 1 equals 0. Then from there on, we say we simply take the 18 over divided by 0. Then it's going to be 4r squared minus 4r plus 1 equals 0. Simply factorize it now. Now we want to, we can erase this part just to save up some space. Okay, so now we get that it's now we factorize simply. So it's 2r minus 1, 2r minus 1. Then we simply get r equals a half. So then now we can sub in this half into equation 2, which was a equals 18. AR equals 18. So now we can sub in that. So it becomes a half equals 18. Therefore, a equals 18 divided by 0.5, which is a half, a equals 32. Now the question asks us to determine the first three terms of the series. So we have a is 32. Now t3, that means, and we have that the second term is 18. So t3 would be 18 times the half. So that's the common ratio. Then this becomes 9. Then therefore we simply write down the series. And the series is, therefore we can just say answer equals 32 plus 18, which is the second term, 9, 32 is the first term. So yes, that's 3.1 complete. So now let's move on to 3.2. Now here comes the tricky part. Now let's just begin. So we can agree that it says t1 plus t2 plus t3 equals 340 equals 140. So we can use the formula here of the tn equals 8 AR n minus 1. So if I sub that in, so now that we know that T1 is A and then T2 is AR, because we're simply skipping a step. Let me write that nicely. We're simply skipping a step and saying AR, because we know the exponent is n minus 1 and it's 2 minus 1, which equals 1. Then the next one surely would be AR squared equals 140. Then the other one is simply going to be T4 plus T4, which T4 plus T5 plus T6 equals 35 over 2. And we get that it's also like the previous one. So you say 4 minus, we know n would be the term which is T4, but it's going to be 4 minus 1. So it's going to be AR. Then surely the next one will be 8 to the 4, 8 to the 5, AR to the 5 equals 35 over 2. So now we get that. Now, here comes the most crucial part. Now, to get this sum correctly, we have to factorize. We have to take us the highest common factor in the sum. So the highest common factor in this one specifically, take out is a. So we take out r, it becomes r plus 1. R squared equals 140. And for this one here, the highest common factor is AR squared, is AR cubed, I mean. So it's going to be 1 plus R squared plus, no, not R squared, plus R. Okay. Plus R squared equals 3 over 2. So now that's the crucial thing here. If you don't get this, as my teacher would say, you're gone, because do you notice that these two here are the same? So basically this is their own identity. So if these two are the same, you can just simply say that 1 plus r squared equals 140 over a. Now because these two are the same, these two identities are the same, these two are the same, you can simply just say, oh, okay, they're the same. So then now we can just sub this 140 over a into that equation. So this basically becomes equation 1, this becomes equation 2. So now keep those equations in your head because we have to erase them. So now you see that that's that. So let's erase them. So then rewrite the equations. So we're gonna say, we saw that was 1 plus r squared equals 140 over a. Then the second one was ar cubed 1 plus r squared equals 35 over 2. And that's equation. So sub in equation 1 into equation 2. Sub that into equation 2. So now this is a very crucial part. Now that you see that these two are the same, you simply just add that, substitute that in. So you just say 140 over a. Now close that bracket and say it's 35 over 2. Now we times that, so it becomes 140 ar cubed over a equals 35. But hold on in a minute, they're both a's, so there's one a at the top and one a at the bottom, so these would just simply cancel out. So now it becomes 140 r cubed equals 35 over 2. Now we have to times this side by 2 to get it to 2, so we can take away this 2 at the bottom here, so it becomes 280 r cubed equals 35. Therefore it's going to be r cubed equals 280 over, that's going to be the 35. It's going to be the 35 basically, sorry about that. It's going to be the 35 over the 280, which is 3 cubed, which is an eighth. Then therefore r is going to equal, since this is 2r to the negative 3, therefore r is going to equal a half. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for listening to my video. This has been a quick summary of convergence series and the sum to infinity. Hope you enjoyed. See you in the next one. Okay, right, and peace.